Hi everybody, Jessie here from jessiebanks.com and welcome back to another video. So for today's video we're using this Furry Wishes stamp set and it is from Kraftin Kimmie stamps. I will have the link to it in the description box below. I am going to put it on stamp it out onto Arch's 140-pound cold press watercolor paper. And these are designs by Rachel Beth watercolors. I have 3 sets of them now. I blame Carissa. It's all her fault. But I'm going to use these 3 sets of watercolors today to paint up our card front. So yeah, it's going to be super fun. I'm going to start by stamping out the little squirrel here, which will be the focal point, using VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And I'm just using a regular acrylic block here. I have a couple stamp positioners and the old Fisker stamp presses and all that kind of stuff kicking around. And they work perfectly awesome, but not everybody has those, and you can definitely make adorable, clean and simple cards without having all of the big fancy tools that we all want and save up for and all of that fun stuff, and they definitely make life easier, but they aren't a necessity. So I'm starting off this thing. I had issues, I had technical difficulties. So I'm going to create, oh sorry, I was playing with paper. I'm going to create a line here. And initially I was going to put it there and I went, wait a minute, if I put the tape there, I can't paint that. That won't work. Come on now. So then I remembered that I have to put the tape above where I want masked off, not on what I want to paint, right? So anyway, so I'm going to put this first piece of tape on, and then I discovered that tape doesn't stick to my Heidi Swap. I have one of those Heidi Swaps, I don't know if it's silicone or rubber or whatever, craft sheets that came out a couple of years ago. So I have a couple of those, or I have one of those, and the tape does not stick to it and doesn't want to adhere. And all of my boards that I use for watercoloring and Copic coloring and all of that were upstairs. So once I get the tape on here, I actually tape it to the back of my small Martha Stewart scoreboard, which is also discontinued, but that's the scoreboard I use, and I just taped it to the back of it so that, see, ta-da! Because I was too lazy to walk upstairs and get my board. Yes, it was for no other reason than I was too lazy. So I'm going to get this all taped down, and we're going to start in on our background. So I'm going to use these 2 colors from the Designs by Rachel Beth watercolor set. I know the dark blue is called Moonglow. I can't think of what the light one is called. Hang on a second, I'm just going to grab those. Alright, I got those sets here. So the light bluey color is called Country Borage. We'll go with Barrage. And the dark blue color is Moonglow. How you guys could you see? Listen to me try and pronounce a word that I don't know how to say. Oh, so bad. So I'm going to cover the entire background of this just in clean water. I am using one of my Princeton and Neptune faux squirrel brushes. So this is a completely synthetic brush. There is no real animal hair in these brushes. I do really like them. I do prefer my Silver Black Velvets, which are a mix, but these are great brushes as well. So I'm just going to put this color around the very perimeter of what we are painting here. It is a more opaque color than the other one. I believe it probably has a bunch of white pigment into it based upon the color of the color of it in the pan. But Rachel does not supply any pigment information on her Etsy channel or anything like that, so I have no idea. So we're just going to drop this in around the perimeter, and then we'll take that Moonglow color and we'll start filling in closer to the squirrel and letting that blend out. So that's super fun and exciting. If you are if you're participating in the Kraftin Kimmie challenges or you're part of their Facebook page, you would have seen this card on Saturday. This was the card that I made for the winter theme challenge that is currently going on over on the Kraftin Kimmie Stamps blog. And I had said then that you would get to see the painting of this video on Monday. And look, here it is. I'm on time and I did something right. I'm proud of myself. Pat on the back. So I'm just getting this background all finished up. One thing about watercolor, if you want something to stop drying, if you hit it with a blow dryer or heat tool, it will stop everything and freeze it in its location. If you want the watercolor to continue to mix and blend, that paper is still wet for as long as it feels cool, and as long as the paper feels cool, that watercolor is still moving. So it may be kind of dry to the touch, but the paper still feels cool. It's still wet and that watercolor is still moving in that paper. So just for an information sake, if you didn't know that. So I do let this blend out for a little bit, and then in all honesty, I got bored. So I hit it with a heat gun, and you're going to see that here momentarily. Ta-da! Yeah, I got sick of waiting. I had no patience when I was making this card. So I was like, hey, let's just blast it with a heat gun. And apparently I left all of the drying in for you guys. Aren't you excited to watch me with my heat gun for an incredibly long period of time? This video is only sped up to 1.5 times the original speed of the video itself, so it is not incredibly fast compared to how I did it in real life. I think it was like a 20-minute video at real-time speed, but nobody wants to sit around and watch me watercolor a video in real-time speed because that gets boring. And if you find that this is too slow, there is that little gear, and you can click on it and speed it up or slow it down or whatever you need to do to the video to make it feel and give you the information you want out of it. So you definitely have those controls as well and that capability, and it's not just up to me. So please don't yell at me that I'm too fast. I know I talk too fast. I need to do that. Slow down the talking. But people scream at me that I go too fast or I go too slow or this, that, and the other, but I can't make everybody happy. Y'all, I just can't. I'm a 31-year-old single mom who works 50 hours a week and does this for fun. And I volunteer and run volunteer groups and do volunteer work and all that kind of stuff on the side as well. And my son is in all sorts of sports and extracurricular activities. And I can't make you guys happy because I cannot put up this video 15 times in all the different formats that everybody wants it. So I hope you guys enjoy it the way it is. And that's my rant for today. Oh, which I should probably delete out, and I'm far too lazy to do. So, it's Sunday at my house, the 18th. This video goes up tomorrow. I'm saving it till last minute to do it, as per always. It's Family Day weekend in Canada, so I don't have to work Monday. That's exciting. Maybe we'll get some more videos uploaded. I do intend on taking my... I live in a small town, really small town, Saskatchewan. 400 people, farming town, Saskatchewan. And there is, across the highway from us is, there's a big hill. So I bought my son, he got one of those snowboards that you just put your boots into to learn. He's 8, you guys. So I told him I'd take him over there tomorrow so he can practice snowboarding before all the snow is gone. So we're going to do that. We might go to the pool and do some swimming and go out for lunch. And then I'm going to make him go grocery shopping, which is his least favorite thing in the entire world to do. So that's what I have planned for today. Well, tomorrow when I'm recording this, but today when you guys see this, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm working on the squirrel now, and I am painting him up with that Minima color. And it's definitely a dual pigment color because there's 2 different colors in there. There's a bluey purple and then the brown. And it separates very, very pretty. And I do the entire squirrel with nothing but this color. I give him a couple different layers and dry him in between, and he looks absolutely adorable. And I think he is the cutest thing in the entire planet. I love this set from Kraftin Kimmie. The squirrel is great, the fox is great, it's all fabulous. There's another one of them doing summer activities, so I like these characters. I hope they come back in more sets this coming year. So we're finishing up his face now. I hope you guys are enjoying all the watercolor going on my channel. I do have Copic stuff coming. I'm hoping to get some colored pencil stuff recorded in the near future here. I'm really trying to spread out the mediums and use everything, and I'm really bad for getting in a kick. I'll get in a kick where I'll use colored pencil on every card I make for 2 months, and that's all I'll use. And then I'll do watercolors, and then I'll do Copics, and then I'll do pastels, and then I'll do this and that and this, and I never do a little bit of everything. I dive in 2 feet head first, make it all the same thing, and go hard, go hard, go hard, go hard, and then I'm I'm bored and done with it. So I'm really trying not to let that happen this year, and I'm really trying to branch out and kind of toss in some of everything as we go along with the ink blending and the Copics and the watercolors and that, just hoping to keep myself interested as well as you guys interested in the content that I'm putting out. If there's definitely some companies and stuff that you haven't seen me use that you would like to, or some mediums that you haven't seen me do enough of and all of that stuff, shoot me a comment in the description box below. I read them all. I don't always have a chance or the opportunity to sit down and respond to everybody, but I do read every single comment that you guys put in there all the time. It doesn't matter how long it is, how short it is, if it's nice, if it's rude, if it's whatever. I read them all and I take the feedback to heart, and I really try and give you guys the content you're after. So I hope that you will definitely, let me know if there's things you want to see and vice versa. Things you don't want to see. That doesn't mean you're not going to see them. If you don't want to see them, just don't watch that video. It's pretty simple. So we're still watercoloring. See, I should have sped this up faster. Aren't you guys sick of listening to me chit chat? And see, I discovered that I really don't like, I don't know why, it's like personal pet peeve. I really don't like when people drop music over top of the video and are like, here, watch this. I'll come back at the end and talk to you for 30 seconds. I'm like, no. And then I close it. So I'm like, sorry, I'm bored. Especially because a lot of the time when I watch YouTube, I'm either working on videos or working on design team cards or working on cards for fun or that kind of stuff. My son's reading a book, kind of a deal, whatever. And when you turn on music, I can't be bothered. Because I'm not always just staring at the screen. A lot of the time I am not. Okay, here I am trying to scrub this out. Apparently this color stains the paper. Like, it does not lift at all. Usually if you go in with a brush and you put a bunch of water on and you scrub it, you can get that color to pick back up and get your paper close to back to white once the rest of it's dried, so that the rest of the paint doesn't bleed back into what you're trying to scrub, right? But that paint didn't move at all, so I'm not sure what is in that Country Barrage. See, there we go again. I'm only saying it once. In that Country Barrage color, but whatever it is, stains the paper deeply, because this is not low-grade paper. This is artist quality cotton rag paper. Like, it's a very good paper. So, yeah, no idea. And I touched that, and that probably sounded really horrible on the mic, and I apologize. But so I'm going in and I painted the scarf yellow, and then I'm taking just a tiny little silver black velvet brush. I think this is a round number 2, just to paint some of those triangles on his scarf in with that red color, which is called Strawberry Rhubarb, just to give it a little bit of pattern on it and all of that. But this little brush makes it super easy to fill in those tiny little spaces and gives that a little added detail, using the artist drawn lines and making them really count for the detail involved in the image, especially when I'm trying to paint it really, really loose. I am usually a super fussy painter and everything has to be perfect, and I am really trying to let go and let things be looser and more organic and do a little more wet into wet and wet onto dry, and just letting it dry messily instead of always, not messily, that's not the right word. Letting it dry with harder edges and things, instead of having all those perfect transitions and blends between all of your colors. And I've been really enjoying that look. It's definitely a challenge for me because I'm very fussy, but they do look really, really pretty with all the harsh edges and everything. So I'm taking a little more of that black now just to go around that green and give the earmuffs a little shading. I'm also going to do the band on the earmuffs with this black color, which is called Black Night as well. So we're just carrying on. I do find these colors don't mix very well, so I'm going to say they're all dual pigments because they aren't the easiest to mix up and make different colors. So this is a Snow Days stamp set. I do believe this one is retired. I cannot find it in the store. I apologize for using it. I overstamped. You'll see I make a mess. But anyway, I did pull the sentiment from this set. I didn't look before I pulled the sentiment I wanted to use. So again, I'm sorry that you can't get this. But it worked so well with this image. So, I don't know, I made like a real big mess and got ink all over the place. So I wiped it off, and here I come back to do it again. See, ta-da! I cleaned off the stamp and re-inked it and started over, yeah. So I'm just going to stamp this just above his gigantic snowball. I'm assuming he's going to be making a snowman because squirrels would make great snowmen. Why not? I have a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock here, and I'm scoring, or 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock, and I'm scoring it at 4 1/4 to create an A2 size top folding landscape card in order to put this one on. My front of my image is 4 by 5 1/4, so it's a 1/4 of an inch smaller. So it does give you that border of the card base sticking around outside of the panel that I'm going to adhere to the front. I do tape it on using score tape. That's simply because I couldn't find any other tape on my desk. And I didn't want to go look for other tape at the moment. So I just used that. It works perfect. It's a super sticky, uber strong, a little bit of overkill tape, but it holds it down onto the card front, and it's what I had handy. So that's what I used. So we're going to tape this on. And that is our card for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the watercoloring. These are super adorable watercolors. I'm really trying to use all of my paints and all of that jazz. So here it is with its stamp set. That will be in the description box below. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye!